Day 18 of the Oregon Coast Trail. This is a 0 day. I was originally a little annoyed at taking a 0 day, but sometimes when you're going and going, you don't realize how tired you are until you stopped. I stopped and I am tired. So 0 day is a good idea. Also, the logistics for the last approximately quarter of the trail are getting a little difficult, and I need some time to work it out. Right now, if I get myself around the rocky points at low tide, that means I'm doing deeper fords in the creeks. So, that combined with where camping and hotels are, it's something that still needs to be worked out. Plus, there's a 30-mile stretch without any legal camping or hotels. So I'm going to call the bus, and on their website they say they have reduced services because they lost federal funding, which is always good. So I need to figure out if they will actually stop along that stretch, along that 30-mile stretch, and ferry me back to the hotel, and then the hotel I take the bus the next day back to that spot. I need to figure out if that's even possible. So that's a lot of logistics for today. I started doing it a little bit this morning, but you know what? My clothes are so stinky and dirty. So I think a priority right now is to head to that laundromat and clean the clothes. The hotel I'm staying at does have a laundromat, but it is not working. So the reason I picked this hotel is because it's centrally located to like everything I need. So first step for today is to get these stinky clothes clean. Feeling like $1,000,000, but probably still looking like a hobo. Step 2 is get a resupply from Safeway. I don't have logistics fully worked out, but I kind of have an idea about how much food I need to carry. Okay, we're moving on to step 3 now. There's a big 5 right across the parking lot from this hotel. Somewhere on day 16, my headlamp went missing. I hoped I had just packed it in a different bag. I think it got flung out one of the times I was trying to grab my high-vis vest. So in between the grocery store and this, I've been trying to figure out the logistics for the next part of the trail. I think I've almost got it figured out though, but I'm going to take a break and go to the sports store, get a new headlamp, and see if they've got any more high-vis stuff. So I've got the vest, but if I can put like one of those triangles that like the cyclists use on my back, that'd be good. Okay, so that's step 3. Literally right across the parking lot. All right, success. Got a very minimal headlamp. I'm not going to be doing a lot of night hiking here or anything. And they didn't have any high-vis gear, but they did have a yellow emergency poncho. And it is going to rain this next week. Heading back to the hotel. And lastly, logistics. I have a plan. It's not a great plan, but it's a plan. I had to go through several drafts. So there's some very long days, there's some very short days. There's like over 21-mile day, which is actually tomorrow, and a 12-mile day. But we're playing around with tides. We're playing around with hotel availability and everything like that. There's still a little bit of uncertainty. One of my stops is an RV resort, and I just called just to make sure, and the guy was kind of like, I don't know. So I'm going to call again in a couple days. He was like, well, I might be able to put you behind the laundry or something like that. So that's not locked down. So that is probably the biggest issue. The bus issue is actually not an issue. The bus is actually, they're pretty cool. So between Gold's Beach, and Brookings, which is very end of the trail, there's a huge stretch, no camping, no hotels. So you gotta pretty much backtrack to Gold Beach or go ahead to Brookings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the bus to Brookings, and then back up the next day, simply because with the schedules they have right now, Brookings leaves later in the day. I think to get back up to Gold Beach, I've got to be ready by like 3:30 in the afternoon. But what's really cool is you can pretty much, if you give them an hour's worth of advance, they'll pretty much pick you up at any major pullout in that area. So they're very cool about it. I don't think that's going to be an issue. But that is my plan for the rest of the trail. Hopefully it goes well. I just have a very, very big day starting tomorrow, so I'm probably going to get up pretty early and just try to get through town as much as possible. And then I've got a low tide point I need to get around before the end of the day, and then should be beach camping.